She's pulled up real slow and now is gonna go in front of me. I'm about to call the sheriff.
What's LIEnette doing with the money that people are sending her? Well, apparently buying spider monkeys online. A pretty big scam. Just like her. She called Levy County Sheriff to report she's been stolen from. But if you ask me, in my opinion, she's the one stealing from everybody else and then attempting to buy spider monkeys. Over 70 calls to Levy County Sheriff. This one's got, oh yeah, world famous Marlie Huge in it. As a matter of fact, let's take a look right here. Okay, this one happened on December 2nd, 2023, where LIEnette calls and she says she needs to talk to a law enforcement officer. Caller was placed on hold. When line, she's not answering. Wait, well, hold a second. LIEnette calls dispatch 911. And then she's placed on hold. And then when they're trying to talk to her, LIEnette's not there. Why is LIEnette calling in the first place? Keep in mind, LIEnette has permanent civil protection orders against her. 2 of them right now. 1 for me, 1 for George, and so does Crook. Let's take another look here. Line still open, recording though, talking about not being aware about subject being there. Now, what does this have to do with she's not there, she's talking about not aware? Okay. LIEnette calls Levy County Sheriff because she broke and violated willingly, knowingly, the civil protection orders against George in the actual post office in Otter Creek. Now, if she claims she didn't know George is there, why is LIEnette calling Levy County Sheriff to tell them, I didn't know she was there? If she didn't know George was there, there would have never ever been a call. Let's keep going here. Okay, let's see. It happened tonight about someone making a report on her, harassing her at the post office. She didn't even see the subject at all. It's Hales's, oh, look at that. Christian, think I'm my name right. This is actually me. Hales's GF. Goldfield. That's my Goldfield. GF is Goldfield. You know, we sort a lot of gold. We know GF stands for Goldfield. But in this case, I think that means girlfriend. All right. I don't have a girlfriend. I have a woman. I got a woman friend. I'm not in junior high anymore. I don't have a girlfriend. I got me a woman. All right. So she did not talk to her or saw her. This is interesting. But why did LIEnette call? She advised for department regarding Hales. They recorded conversation between the departments. And then what do we have here? Caller's name, Marlie Hughes of Bronson. Wanted to give us a heads up. Our department is being used against Miss Preston. They are being weaponized against LIEnette. Oh, that's interesting that Marla actually, for the first time, called LIEnette. You know, her real legal name, not Lyshell. Okay, let's keep going on. They are being recorded. And then it goes on to say that complainer advised that somebody filed a false report against her, violating a contact order, and complainant was given the report, have a supervisor make contact. Did I?
You skipped a line.
I skipped a line. Okay. So no, that's why you're so important, Christian. You're so important because you're reading it the right way. I'm reading it the wrong. Do I hear Baby Pepper?
Yep.
Is she going on a gator ride?
Yep.
Sounds like she's having fun. All right, number, she could request a copy of the report. So complainant then complained about something, and something was said. Complainant was advised I would have a supervisor make contact with her so she could speak with them about. Complainant advised did not want to speak with a supervisor. She was called under the she was called the undersheriff in the morning. Complainant was advised to call back if further assistance was needed. So this is LIEnette stating that she wants to talk to Beecham, the undersheriff, who she claims she's buddy with. And Beecham is in some hate groups of What the Hales as well. Now, Marlie Huge. Why would Marlie Huge insert her big old self into this huge problem? Now, she's not the only one, because birds of a feather flock together. Let's take yet again another look at yesterday's call, where none other than Chart Michelle Boy, there is just something about that Michelle name. Has inserted herself as well. Let's see exactly what SHART stands for. SHART, LIEnette, and Jamie Starr, who wanted to be an adult star, all meet in anti-CPS Facebook groups. You see a common theme with LIEnette? 13 groups that we know of, and they're all against CPS. As a matter of fact, SHART is 100% for child abusers. SHART has 100% knowledge of what's going on with the child. As a matter of fact, in a message that SHART actually wrote, as you can see right up here, it says, she, meaning LIEnette, told me that John Crook is drinking a lot and doing pain meds with strong drink. You can see what the actual words are. YouTube doesn't like these words, unfortunately. She's giving the precious child. Here we go with precious. Why is it with these psychotic people, it's precious? Gollum, my precious property, my precious. I could just see SHART and LIEnette going back and forth saying my precious. She's giving the precious child melatonin every day to make her sleep, even during the day. Even during the day. Okay, I've heard her threaten the child, and the baby cries. Not a baby. We spoke nearly daily. When she's joyful and playing, she tells me it's some kind of defiance disorder. She told me the biological grandmother tried to unalive her. How is it with these psychotic people that every person is trying to unalive them as well? Again, birds of a feather. That's why she removed her entire biological family and moved the baby away from family and children. She speaks harshly to her. I've never heard a soft, loving tone or voice. In the state of Ohio, if you are a witness of this and you don't report it, you get punished as if you were the one that did it. So is she a supportive person of child abuse? Not only is she a supportive person of it, she's guilty of it for not reporting it. SHART is just another coattail rider who cares more about fame than she ever would children. Now, she publicly claims she's not for child abusers. Yet, she publicly has also shown that she is. As a matter of fact, when she's confronted with it, look at this here. SHART literally just said on July 3rd, 2024, "You are lying to my friends, and she knows me for 30 years and knows my heart very well. So you are only harassing her, and I am protective over her. She is an angel. If you want to be blocked, keep it up. Protect all children. I do not. And I never would support a C abuser. Your lies about me in this regard are not protected speech." Well, I'm about to challenge that because truth is protected speech. And the individual she's calling her friend is the one, LIEnette. Oh, but don't worry. Remember that one friend, Jamster, who was on Ruggs, who in an actual call to the Levy County Sheriff, LIEnette admits she's living on the property. When she then says that Kenny is on her property looking for the person that was living on her property, Jamster. Yes, that's her arrest photo. And what does SHART have to say about Jamster? Well, let's look right here. SHART has to say the Jamie Starr. Oh, by the way, Starr is not her legal middle name. Michelle is. SHART Michelle, LIEnette Michelle, Jamie Michelle. I see a common theme here. I don't want to get anywhere near a Michelle, that's for sure. But the Jamie Starr Johnson story, stay tuned. Getting back onto this story soon. These kids have a lifelong home filled with food, love, family. CPS Indiana, where zero abuse or neglect occurred. So what's going on for 8 months now? Oh, okay. Well, let's just clarify. Yesterday, Jamie Starr Johnson yet again lost her children. Because Jamie Starr Johnson yesterday actually posted, Indiana DCS almost unalived my daughter in 1 day of wrongfully taking my kids again. We need your help. Send money. Anything will help with me to cost of hospital stay and an attorney. Apparently, Indiana thinks that Shart is a supporter of child abusers. As a matter of fact, her history, the evidence of her history is long. As a matter of fact, she was actually supporting, right here, you can see, come one, come all. Shart invites you to Arlena Willis's sentencing party live, July 26, 2021, 8:30 a.m. Now, this is one of Shart's haters making fun of her because Shart claims that she's not supporting child abusers. But the reality is we look at the state of Arizona versus Arlena Wills. What does it say here? Guilty by jury. What is that? Child abuse intent. Child abuse intent. Guilty. 2 counts. 2 counts right there. This is another one of Shart's. She's a victim. And yet, what does it say here? The state of Arizona versus Arlena Willis. The defendant was convicted by a jury of 2 counts of child abuse, both class 2 felonies. Shocking disregard for the health of her what? Christian, what does that say there?
Disabled son.
Disabled son. Does anybody see any correlation with LIEnette claiming that she has a life-threatening disabled daughter? That she's disabled. Crook's disabled. They're all disabled. The turtles are disabled. The tortoises are disabled. The only thing that isn't disabled is LIEnette's mouth. But the history goes way longer than that. Let's take a look at this guy right here. Oh, Shart doesn't want you to know about this guy. This is another guy. This is his mugshot. And as we read right down here, we've got on 6/17/2024 at approximately 10:15 hours, the CVS located at 3rd Street, 26th Avenue, which is located at Pompano Beach within Broward County, the state of Florida. The above named defendant did commit a petty theft, did unlawfully obtain 32 items totaling $339, 38 items from CVS. Lee Kensworthy did pass all points of sale as he walked out the front door of the business with the intent to permanently deprive the CPS of the right of property of the benefit. Now, this is theft. Does anybody see a common theme here? You know, Walmart skip scam artists, Crook and LIEnette. Skip scam means that they're not scanning the items and putting them in a bag. It is LIEnette who has shared publicly that she has been allegedly stated guilty of this. Oh, but Ken's history goes way further than that. As a matter of fact, Ken's history goes to the point of, you know what, let's just handle it right here, okay? Shart claims she's been in CPS battle, but she says she's never happened on a recent live stream. Now, we're going to get to Shart's actual CPS battle. But who are the people that she's proponent of who are known child abusers? Well, Lee Kenworthy, who we just saw, who has been convicted on child endangerment, has a long rap sheet, including rug abuse, rug usage, dealing. Has anybody seeing the correlation with LIEnette and Crook here? Now we have Jamie Michelle Johnson Starr, who I just showed. Child neglect, CPS, DCF, has taken her children away 3 times now with a huge rap sheet. Rug use. This is the individual that was living on her property, shooting pew-pews into the walls of the stolen camper. We have Arlena Wills, who we just saw, 2 felony counts of child abuse. We have Helena Morley, animal neglect and abuse. We have Susie Theodora, CPS, DCF removal. Now LIEnette and Crook. But Shart's had her own problems. As a matter of fact, let's look right here. Now, this is a screenshot that Shart doesn't want the world to see, and it's a little bit blurry, so we went ahead and transcribed it right up here. She's responding to Jessica. P.S. Jessica, I just ended a 3-year custody battle with my ex who abused us. I did not even have the chance to take a deep breath in, and now I'm in a CPS battle. My house was stolen, and everything, including my freedom, and I walked away with my son in my arms. My ex is now working with CPS and the corrupt family court judge against me. I'm curious why this corrupt family judge isn't known now as a hero. Our hero, the family judge, in Shart's civil case. All right, let's keep going. Against me. No money left for this new battle. This judge is behind what's happening. Oh, that's funny because she wants to declare Judge Grudge isn't behind what's happening to me. So she's a victim, but it's mind-blowing. Let's just keep going. It's like an army against me, and they have all the power, but they are fighting the power of a mother's love. I bet they're so scared. Shart has her own issues with CPS. And this is an individual that claims to be a champion of victims when she is the one that is creating victims. And here's the funniest part. She wants nobody to know. Nobody. This was posted, I believe, yesterday from Melissa Anderson. She said, to Shart, stop deleting my comments. Remember when you gave money to help this methed up addict and a child abuser run from the law? Remember when he called a bomb threat to a federal judge's children's school? Anybody seen any correlation with who Shart aligns with and what's happened in my own life? How all of it all fits together. This is the last person I would ever associate with. He's been arrested, convicted of 5 felonies already in the state he ran to. These are just 4 of his 8 mugshots in Florida alone, as we can see right here. This is Ken Kensworthy right down here. You sure are a hero to a convicted child abuser, stalker, harasser, and men who commit domestic violence, aggravated assault with deadly weapons, simple assault, battery, burglary, and countless possession of rugs. Question, now that Jamster and LIEnette have fallen out, who gets custody of you? We ain't claiming her. Let's not forget that Shart has continued to say that she's coming to Otter Creek to cover this story, and she's yet to ever arrive. And yes, I have all the screenshots, and I could have printed it all off, and I could show it all to you. She is a habitual, pathological liar, just like LIEnette, just like Jamster, just like all the others. Birds of a feather flock together. I can't stress that enough. What happens when you get a Shart? Well, you end up taking a Deuce, and Shart and Deuce are going down together. Okay, let's look at some other ridiculous, harassing phone calls. Here's one right here. This is December 3rd, 2023. LIEnette calls, and vehicle has driven by slowly 7 times now. And it says, body type, windows are very tinted, and Morris goes out, and after patrolling the area, I was unable to locate the vehicle. So LIEnette is calling Levy County Sheriff to complain that a vehicle is driving on the road. Last I checked, it's legal for every vehicle to drive on a road. Unless that vehicle isn't insured, you're not licensed, it's a stolen vehicle. There are some exceptions, but to sit there and call after you already know that LIEnette has claimed through text messages to Madam Mayor and others in the town of Otter Creek that she wanted the traffic on the road because she wanted to sell eggs, she wanted people to come to her tortoise rescue, she wanted the promotion, and now she has it. And now she's constantly calling, complaining about it. All right, here's another one. This says caller name Jeremy Hales. I don't think I am the one that called. But who's to say that Levy County Sheriff ever gets everything correct? Because, well, at least they got my name right. I did not call, but they got my name right. So it says, breaking protection order, Preston is the subject. Complainant in main lobby. Wait, hold a second. 12/21. They have furthered remarked courthouse has a new remark. Back of the office has a new remark. The incident is under further investigation. The Levy County case number will be assigned. So in this one right here, I can assure you, I didn't call. I don't even know why they put this here. This is LIEnette calling, okay? Here's another incident report right here. 12/31. This is New Year's Eve. Incident report. Violation of a protective order. Offender, Jeremy Hales. Victim, LIEnette Preston. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see what it says here. This is going to be fun. Here's the narrative, all right? This narrative says, on the above date and time, I made contact with LIEnette Preston, who advised Jeremy Hales used her name. Oh, nobody even knows what her legal name is. It's not Preston, and it's not Michelle. It is LIEnette. Now, we don't have any legal proof yet of what her actual last name is. And the whole Lacey and the Alexis, the whole ridiculousness of it. Even Jamster called herself Star. Even Shart, even though her name is Sharon, calls herself Shart. All right, it's Shara. These psychotic individuals can't just go by their God-given names. All right, let's see. Jeremy used her name in one of his YouTube videos and then posted this video online. LIEnette showed me the video on YouTube, and after watching this video, which was done via YouTube Live, I did not hear Jeremy use LIEnette's name. Jeremy makes one comment about the turtle lady, and LIEnette advised he was talking about her because she has turtle rescue operation at her residence. Look at this. She literally says this is a turtle rescue operation. To be clear, the turtles need to be rescued. But let's keep going on. Because this was done, gets pretty crazy here, Christian. You're gonna laugh at this. Because this was done via YouTube Live, the video was only stored on Jeremy's YouTube channel, What the Hales, for 12 hours. Incorrect. Here is officers getting it wrong again. Live streams are live. They're on the channel for as long as they exist. It's always there. So wherever he comes up with 12 hours, I have no idea. That is not a YouTube policy. That is no type of policy on YouTube whatsoever. It exists forever. And LIEnette has an active stalking, cyberbullying injunction against Jeremy. And George wrote in here, it's a temporary. Against Jeremy. And according to this injunction, Jeremy cannot use LIEnette's name on any social media platforms. Since Jeremy did not use LIEnette's name in this video, in this case is being unfounded. Case status, unfounded. Now, once Judge Grudge slapped this temporary injunction on me, which is still on me months, almost a year later, he did say I couldn't use her name, I couldn't use her image, I couldn't do anything, which is illegal. He has no authority to do that, but yet he did it. And I respected it until we fought against it, and then we fought for my First Amendment right, protected speech, which everything I have done in my life is protected speech under the First Amendment. I don't use fight words. That's not me. Crook does, and when I call him out on it, he goes and runs like a little baby. LIEnette does all the time. Shart does, even Deuce does. To this day, I still can say LIEnette. I still can say Crook. I can say Shart. I can say Deuce. I can say Stupid Dave. I can say whatever I want to say. I can say Russ the Sus, Don the Con, Mary, Math is Scary. And the list can go on and on. It's all protected speech. It's 100% protected speech. So what goes on here? Let's see here. Event type information, 12/31/2023. Complaint advised Jeremy Hale's girlfriend just drove by filming. Oh no, in a black car. Oh, did you just see that, Christian? Did you see that highlighted in a black car? Yes, yep, right there, in a black car. Okay, there it is, right there, in a black car. You know what this means? LIEnette and Crook know what vehicle that George drives. You know what they're claiming in Ohio court via the violations of the civil protection order? They don't know her car. Interesting, as they're recorded looking right at it, as they're actually recording her in her car, and all of a sudden in a town of 100 people where it's not even 100 people, we just say there's 100 people, there's 34, 36 houses. How are you going to get 100 people in 36, 34 houses with no kids? It doesn't work that way. In a town of well under 100 people, She's claiming she doesn't know George's vehicle, and yet here we have police reports stating she knows George's vehicle. So LIEnette says she just saw Jeremy Hale's girlfriend just drove by filming in a black car. Just saw her, went towards the school. Oh my goodness, she even knows all of my properties. Huh. Interesting. When she's actually calling the sheriff, she knows all this information. When she's in court, all of a sudden she doesn't know it. Other half on the phone now. Her phone also wants to talk to a deputy. So this is somebody wants to talk to a deputy. Oh, this is George. George wants to talk to a deputy because John yelled and screamed at her when she drove by, which violates, and they're saying, the temporary injunction, which George has no injunction on her whatsoever. George has injunctions against them. They cannot communicate by any means whatsoever, and they must stay 500 feet away. George has every right to film for her own protection, safety, and accountability. Everybody has every right to film for their own protection, safety, and accountability. Everybody does. I would encourage everybody to film in this day and age for their own safety and for the protection and accountability, because there are crazy people out there. There are crazy people everywhere, and Lord forbid they stalk you. For those who want to be so supportive of LIEnette and Crook, God, I wish that they have to go through the hell that we've had to go through. Honestly, I don't wish that on anybody except for Marli Hughes. Marli Hughes deserves it. She needs to understand it. If she wants to support it, then she should probably go through it, and then she'll see exactly what it's like. Let's say John yelled at her, screamed at her when she drove by, which violates the protection order. The schoolhouse is where they went. Active. Yep, the active. Okay, this is basically saying North Otter Creek, called, missed calls. Jeremy is now actively. So this is wants her to call her back. She missed the call. This is George calling and LIEnette calling. So George drives by and Crook violates civil protection order, which, let me make this very clear, he was already found guilty for this incident in the state of Ohio. All right. And so LIEnette's calling saying, George just drove by, wants her to call back. Jeremy is now actively, so LIEnette says that I'm violating the protection order. He's on Facebook Live talking about LIEnette, which, let me be clear. The only time we go live on Facebook is when we go live on YouTube. So the way that we set it up, they just go live at the same time. For us, it's just YouTube, but the software that we use will actually just broadcast to both. So I'm not sure why they're saying it's Facebook Live. He's a serial stalker. Well, I gotta admit, I love me some multi-meal s'more cereal. I stalk that stuff up. I stalk it, I eat it, I shard it, I deuce it. I don't mess around. Golden Grams? Oh my goodness, Golden Grams. How do they cram all that gram? Fruity Pebbles? Who ain't gonna stalk some Fruity Pebbles? I know you know what I'm talking about. Honeycombs? I know there's some of you out there stalking them honeycombs. I know it. Don't you try? Now, Lucky Charms, you know, you have to really sort through the Lucky Charms, get rid of the garbage, and get to the marshmallows. Just give me the bag of marshmallows. I'll stalk me some marshmallows. I don't mess around when it comes to some marshmallows. Christian, I know you know what I'm talking about. You a cereal stalker?
Like the marshmallows.
You don't like the marshmallows?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That kind of hurts. That hurts my heart, Christian. That's okay. So you're not a cereal stalker then?
Not Lucky Charms, I guess.
Okay. What's your cereal stalker? What's your go-to?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Ah, yeah. What about Captain Crunch, Peanut Butter Crunch? Man, I could eat that forever. Okay. So anyways, she's watching it now, and when he talks about the turtles, he is talking about her. Basically, they just document this, and they laugh. More reports. Let's see what we got here. All right, incident report. We got January. We're in 2024 now. January 4th, 2024. Violation of a protective order. The offender, Jeremy Hales. They're finally getting my name right. Preston. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got more information that really does nothing for us. But what we do have is the narrative. So let's take a look at the narrative here. On the above date and time, I responded, by the way, here, show this as a teaser. They are trying to get a warrant for my arrest. LIEnette has called so many times. Levy County Sheriff has done nothing to protect myself or George. And now we've got Corporal Gregory Corporal Gregory is trying to get a warrant for my arrest. What have I done? Nothing illegal at all. On the above date and time, I responded to the above listed address. Upon my arrival, I made contact with LIEnette Preston, who advised she has an active stalking injunction against Jeremy Hales. Let me clarify. She has a temporary injunction, which is supposed to be for 14 days. And now we're coming up on the better half of it. Once I go back to October, it'll be the end of October, beginning of November, we'll be at 1 year. Well, I know it was in December. So we're at coming up 9 months now. It's supposed to be 14 days. That's what a temporary injunction is, 14 days. LIEnette advised that this injunction prohibits Jeremy from using her name on any social media platform. LIEnette stated that Jeremy, on today's date, uploaded a YouTube video on his YouTube page. That happens every single day. It's rare that we don't upload a video, but it's almost every single day. LIEnette advised Jeremy uses her name numerous times during this video, thus violating the injunction. LIEnette advised that Jeremy's YouTube channel is What the Hales. I'm glad he actually typed it right. The video she's referring to is labeled, here's the video, Court Day with Bad Neighbors. Everybody knows who the bad neighbors are, per LIEnette's own words. LIEnette then showed me this injunction and quoted, below is an excerpt from page 5, which is actually an addendum that has been added to the original injunction by the Honorable Judge DeThomasis. It says, respondent Jeremy Hales and or anyone under his control. To be clear, nobody's under my control. Christian, I gotta ask you, am I able to control you?
No.
Okay, so if you don't want to do something, if I tell you to do something, you can say no?
I can.
You literally, have you ever told me no?
I don't want to do the peacocks.
So Christian tells me no. Hey, I'm not comfortable with cleaning out the peacock pen. He doesn't do well with throw up or with doo-doo, what happened last night with Pepper here
As
yesterday.
we were about to leave, Pepper
Yep.
just threw up all of her juice and milk that we just gave her.
All over the kitchen.
All over the counter.
And then you almost...
I was gagging. I was struggling.
And I'm laughing. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. And I'm like, guys, I have 3 babies. My babies are grown now. And it's just fun to have another baby in the house. I love having Pepper here. And they love having Pepper with them too. So why would we ever want to split the family up for work? And they're like, we're sorry. I'm like, man, been there, done that. This is what happens when you have little ones. And Christian was literally going, he's like, patience. I'm just watching and I'm laughing. There are things where I will talk to Christian and Patience. For example, I asked, do you guys want to come down to Christmas in the Creek 2023? And their answer was no. It's not going to happen this year. They tell me no. I don't have control over them. I don't have control over anybody. I can't control what LIEnette CROOK does. I can't control what anybody does. So it goes on to say, respondent Jeremy Hales and or anyone under his control employed by him or in any way under his direction, including not limited to any and all administrators, any form of social media, has a responsibility to assure that he does not publish in any form whatsoever, utilizing any media platform or any conduit of information of the name, image, likeness, and or any information, data, photographs, videos related to and or pertaining to the petitioners and or her minor child that would consist of constitutionally, look at this, which would consist of constitutionally unprotected speech. I have never, ever broken the law in regards to unprotected constitutional speech, which then it goes on to clarify, such as fighting words, those personally abusive epithets which, when addressed to the ordinary citizen, are, as a matter of common knowledge, inherently likely to provoke violent reaction. Now, it's very clear, me stating LIEnette's name in a video is not fighting words. It's not going to provoke a violent action. As a matter of fact, I've said from the very beginning, do not interact with anybody in the news story of our lives. Yes, it's news. It's our lives. It's horrific that we have to live through it. But you can learn through it. And frankly, you can be entertained through it as well. There are many hilarious things. And I find this extremely hilarious, that Corporal Gregory recognizes that there is absolutely no infraction of fighting words, and yet he's trying to get a warrant. After reading the injunction, I watched the above listed video on YouTube. In this video, Jeremy uses LIEnette's name. Jeremy uses LIEnette's name numerous times throughout the entire video. I advised LIEnette that I would file a sworn complaint with the state attorney's office. Case status, warrant requested. This idiot, Corporal Gregory, what a fool. He needs to be off the streets. I use her name. There is no fighting words. Constitutionally protected speech. And he's trying to get a warrant for my arrest. Corporal Gregory should be gone immediately. He's not protecting people. He's actually infecting people. The ignorance of some of these individuals is mind-blowing. All right, let's look at another one down here. We've got January 4th, 2024, LIEnette. Jeremy Hales just drove by honking his horn. Oh my goodness. Let me clarify. Number one, I would never drive by honking my horn at these fools. And who in their right mind? Who in their right mind? I know you're thinking they're not in the right mind. No, they're not. Would call Levy County Sheriff stating that somebody honked their horn. Driving by my property. Recognizing that my property has more frontage on this road than anybody else. 70 acres versus 1.66 of a turd purgatory. And she's calling saying Jeremy honked his horn. Also put out another video with her name, image, and everything talking about her, saying there's not an injunction. And advised she was recorded at the courthouse. Yep, legally. And there we go, Corporal Gregory, the fool. Okay, well, what else is going on? July 7th. Here we go again. July 7th. All right. What we've got is LIEnette Preston calling. Complaint that someone called her saying she's going to jail. Could have been her children. Her children, more than anybody, want to see her in jail. Her family, more than anyone, want to see her locked up. How do I know that? Because they share it with me personally. As a matter of fact, I have a 50-minute phone call with her daughter that will be released soon. Someone called her saying she's going to jail. That called her saying private, that said private, so she can't see the number. Jeremy Hales keeps making videos with her, what? Private information. All right, made contact with LIEnette Preston by phone. She stated that she received a call from a private number in which the other party stated something to the effect of, "You're going to jail. Jeremy Hales is going to win. You're a perjurer. You're a liar. You," and then disconnected the phone line. LIEnette also complained that Jeremy Hales was posting videos from the courtroom hearings. I advise LIEnette that when requested, courtroom videos are public record. Can you imagine being the Levy County dispatcher, except for Corporal Gregory, because he's obviously doesn't understand the law, therefore he should not be out there enforcing it. But being a deputy and somebody saying, Jeremy Hales just posted the courtroom hearing. Yeah, it's public record. Town hall is public record. Recording in the road is public. The insanity of this all. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they put up with her. And I have to live with it on a daily basis. And I'm $180,000 out of my pocket fighting it. For Florida to do nothing. For people like Corporal Gregory to try and get a warrant arrest against me. That's how foolish these fools. I mean, it is just gets me upset. And that he's allowed to show those videos. So courtroom videos are public record, and he's allowed to show those videos. When I asked LIEnette what would she like to have done, she said, evidently nothing, and disconnected the phone line. Yet again, LIEnette hanging up on the popo. She calls, then she go. She called a popo, then she go. And they're left there going, oh man, she crazy. Okay, here's another one. This is 1-1. No, 110. All right. John calls. Oh, this is funny. This is while they are in court. LIEnette is in court in Ohio for violating the civil protection orders, and John is calling the Levy County Sheriff while LIEnette is in court. This is insanity. She's in court via Zoom, and John is calling. As you can see here, George put here, Ohio court hearing. All right, here we go. Collins takes the call. Caller advised that they are in court, and Jeremy is lying to the judge. Oh my goodness, I can't take it. They're literally in court, and John is not supposed to be hearing anything. John is not supposed to be in the courtroom. Yes, we're going to give this to the Ohio judge. And John is calling while LIEnette is in court, stating that I'm lying to the judge. This is freaking insanity. It's a freaking blue tablet. It's a freaking free tablet. It's a freaking insanity. He's, number one, not to be listening. Number two, he should not be on the phone with the Levy County Sheriff. He's in court. He has court this day as well. And he's calling saying, Jeremy Hales is lying in court. Except I showed all the proof. Caller is not being clear as to what Levy County Sheriff can currently help him with. Caller wanted information from an incident in October. I advised I did not take the call. He would have to get with the responding deputy. Who is so stupid to call Levy County Sheriff while you're in court? By the way, everything I showed was proof that I do not lie. You see, that's the thing. I don't lie. Well, let's keep looking at the evidence. Incident report here, we've got the 12th of January, violation of protection order. Okay, we got the 12th of January. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, here we go. The narrative is right here. All right, hopefully it's not Corporal Gregory, and it's not. This one is Deputy Juras. How would you pronounce his name? What do you think, Christian? Juras? Juras. All right.
Grace.
So, something like that. On 1/12/24 at 12:45 hours, I was dispatched in a call in reference to LIEnette Preston, white female, date of birth 8/5/1962. Calling about Jeremy Hales, white male, date of birth 3/30/1977. Advised he's actively violating the injunction she has on him because he had posted yet another YouTube video using her name. LIEnette advised Jeremy was using her name and coming at her likeness. This is what it says, in quotes. Coming at her likeness. Jeez, that would never have. I would never be coming to her likeness. I just want to clarify to everybody in the planet, that would never happen. Okay, in the video, along with posting their court proceedings, I watched the full 54-minute, 30-second video, which is titled "Guilty: World's Worst Neighbors Destroyed in Court," posted by What the Hales during the video. Jeremy speaks on the court proceedings, and he and LIEnette have both appeared in, and also talks about LIEnette and what she has been saying in court as well. Jeremy talks for about 27 minutes, then shows the videos of the court proceedings. I made contact with the state attorney, Dan Owens, who is familiar with both parties in the situation, and Dan advised that, per the injunction, Jeremy is not to use any fighting words, such as convincing the subscribers to do harm to LIEnette or harass her or say anything along the lines of he himself doing or planning to harm her. Dan advised, as long as Jeremy is not using fighting words, but is using the name, he is not actively violating the injunction. Oh. In other words, as long as I just keep living life as I always have, I'm fine. I've never broken the law. Due to Jeremy not using any fighting words in this video, the charge of violating a protective injunction has been unfounded. Case closed via unfounded. And it keeps going on. 911 dispatch. Who do we have this time? LIEnette Preston. All right, narratives. Jeremy Hales is making more videos. Complainant stated that Jeremy Hales was posting videos of court proceedings, and is supposed to not post any videos. Advised complainant that court proceeding videos are considered public. And what happens? Right here. Complainant became irate, hung up the phone. Yet again, LIEnette not getting her way, hanging up the phone. As a matter of fact, I'm actually shocked that she has not alleged that all of these deputies have done something inappropriate with children yet. Because that's her pattern in life. She doesn't get her way, then she accuses you of some type of child thing. as she's done with me and others in her life as well. And so it's shocking to me she hasn't actually done this to the Levy County Sheriff yet. But let's keep looking here. Incident report, we've got 117. Incident, violation of a protective order. Suspect offender is Preston now. Warrant requested. This is going to be interesting. They're actually getting a warrant now. Victim. Whoa! For once, I'm the victim? At this point, maybe Levy County Sheriff is starting to understand what's going on. All right, here's the narrative right here. All right. I spoke with Jeremy Hales, who advised that he believed that LIEnette Preston violated the contact order. Now, this is a long one. Let's read it together. While speaking with Jeremy, he sent me a screenshot picture via email that showed a text message from approximately 1 year ago being allegedly sent to him on 1/16/2024. That is not a year ago. That is the exact day. I don't know why he put in this narrative a year ago. At approximately 12:28 p.m., I advised them that I would need to see the picture in his person on his cell phone in order to verify the date and also the phone number from which the text message was sent to. Jeremy advised he was unavailable and it would have to be on 1/18/24 after 1100 hours. I advised Jeremy that I would call him on 1/18/24 and meet him. In other words, I wasn't there. On 1/18/24, I met with Jeremy in Otter Creek to see the text message that was allegedly sent from LIEnette. The picture shows a screenshot from LIEnette's phone with the message stating, "Okay, thank you and God bless." And then the part about money and owing things wasn't about you, so you just meant people in general because of people. All garbage that LIEnette sent. She would send these huge rants that I would just never read. I would just ignore. But this was one once we had the civil protection order, and then she messaged me. I verified the phone number that Jeremy had in his phone was the same phone number that we have on record from previous calls with LIEnette. Oh yeah, they got some calls from LIEnette. I then went and spoke with LIEnette at a residence. I advised her that I would like to ask her questions about the messages that was sent and would be reading her Miranda before any questions stated. She agreed and allowed me to start reading her rights to her. As I finished reading LIEnette her rights, she advised that she understood her rights, and before I could ask her any questions, she stated she wanted to ask her lawyer for their opinion of the incident. I did not ask LIEnette any more questions, and then she advised that she believed this incident was due to her having a deposition, which she did not mention a date. But during the deposition, Jeremy's lawyer asked her to send him a message that was between her and Jeremy. LIEnette advised that the deposition was from 1,000 hours, or, you get it, from 10 o'clock. From 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. LIEnette advised that during the deposition that she was trying to send the message to Jeremy's lawyer. She accidentally sent the message to Jeremy. How do you accidentally send me a message instead of my lawyer? Randy Shockett versus Jeremy Hales. She has a civil protection order against her. Why is my number even still programmed in her phone? I don't get it. It doesn't matter. Whether it's an accident or not, she's guilty. She's not allowed to communicate with me. All right, after stating that information, LIEnette's lawyer advised that she should not speak to any law enforcement officer about the matter. LIEnette then advised me what her lawyer stated. I told her I would not ask any more questions. I left the residence. The no contact order that Jeremy Hales is out of Ohio case number. And then due to the fact that LIEnette advised that she accidentally sent Jeremy a text meant for his lawyer, she violated her no contact order. So finally, somebody that gets it, this is Wilbur. Due to the fact that LIEnette advised she had accidentally sent Jeremy a text meant for his lawyer, she violated her contact order. LIEnette is being charged with, and then it goes on. It should be noted that during my encounter with Jeremy, I asked him if LIEnette's phone number was blocked from his phone. Jeremy replied that he had the number blocked before, but unblocked it in order to try and get her to break the injunction. Now, this is what I don't like about Wilbur. Okay, he says that Jeremy said he unblocked it to try and get her to break the injunction. That is a lie. So Deputy Wilbur here completely and totally lies in this narrative. He did ask me, do you have her number blocked? I said, no, it's right here. And why would I have it blocked? How would I know if she broke the injunction, if she broke the civil protection order, if I had it blocked? That's why I don't have LIEnette's number blocked. I still don't have it blocked, nor will I block it. Because how am I going to know if she actually breaks it if I do block it? LIEnette is foolish enough to continue to sit there and send me stuff. I would never send her stuff. There are no accidents. The same way that I record every time I drive by. The same way I have to record my life in Otter Creek all the time. The same way, the same reason the camera is always on. To see and know when they break the injunction. So this is pathetic, literally pathetic what he put in here because it's untrue. He blocked the order to try and get her to break the injunction. I can't get somebody to break an injunction by unblocking their number. I can't try to get her to break the injunction. The only person that can break, and it's a civil protection order out of Ohio, is her and him. And so I'm not too thrilled with Wilbur. Frankly, I think he should go too. These individuals, these deputies are doing nobody any good. My car, video, and body-worn microphone were recorded during the incident, and this is what I would love. I would love to hear the recording. Love to hear the recording. Oh, that's right. We're going to have it. As a matter of fact, Shart's been actually requesting all of this information as well. And the funny thing is, you're not going to see any of it from Shart. Why? Because it's too incriminating. But yes, we already know, Levy County Sheriff have already told us that there's the actual LIEnette's number. And here is the messages. He took the picture of my phone. Here's what she sent me. So yes, we know Shart has been requesting all of this. And we know you're never going to see anything. I mean, if she shows any of it whatsoever, again, keep in mind, birds of a feather flock together, and she is a huge supporter of child abusers. Huge supporter. That is her list of who she supports. There are no others that I'm aware of. And so if she takes anything, she'll try and take it out of context. But you're not going to see anything. It's all incriminating. Here's another one right here. 17th of January, Jeremy Hales. Okay. Breaking the injunction out of Ohio. He also notified Bowers that advised him to call with a deputy subject to LIEnette Preston. She texted him. All right, this is the same thing in regards to her texting me. And apparently, I don't know if I called or they called. It says me, but they usually get it wrong. LIEnette on the 19th replied to a post on Facebook. Wants to speak with law enforcement. Will be in handicap parking in the Jeep Gladiator. Bank told her she needed a police report. Look at this. She sent $50 to purchase a monkey. It was a scam. All right, all you individuals who are sending LIEnette money, all of a sudden she has a ton of it, and she's using it, based on the information I see here, allegedly to buy spider monkeys online. She's stealing from you all, allegedly, and then she's calling the Levy County Sheriff because she's been stolen from, allegedly. Now, let's be very clear. Monkeys, I believe in Florida, are class 3 animals. You have to book over 1,000 hours working with a monkey. Why is LIEnette buying monkeys online? When she's clearly stated to all law enforcement and everybody else, she can't afford a lawyer, she can't even afford her next meal. I've destroyed her business. I've destroyed everything, but she's out buying monkeys. Does that make any sense to anybody? So what's she doing with all this money? I believe she also used this money to bring Landon, his girlfriend, his boy toy, down to Florida and Otter Creek as well. This is what I believe. Misuse of this money that's being gifted to her. She's never had any kind of money like this before. And to declare that she's somehow financially harmed from all this. This is the funny thing. She's literally, with Deuce's help, claiming she's financially harmed from all of this, from thumbnails, from news coverage. And yet she has more money than she's ever had in her life. Do you understand that she has to prove financial hardship from it? She, in her paperwork, the federal court says 0, 0, 0. She makes no money. Now she has it and she's spending it on monkeys that she can't even feed her own daughter. Okay, let's go on and look at this a little bit more. Made contact with a complainant. This is so ridiculous. She showed me the thread about trying to purchase a monkey, in which she was speaking to Edward Sarah, who was making a $50 deposit in the Cash App account. She advised she had already disputed the charge with her bank, and now they will refund as soon as possible when it comes through. I provided her the incident report number. And if it seems like I struggle reading, I'm doing this all upside down, which is not easy. All right. And if that doesn't bake your beans and burn your bacon, I don't know what will. buying monkeys, being scammed. It's pretty funny when the scammer gets scammed, though, isn't it? I mean, come on. This is educational, but this is also entertainment. The scammer got scammed the scammer scammed people out of money. Now she's using that money, and she got scammed out of the money she scammed other people for. You cannot write this stuff. Otter Creek's insane. All right, incident report. We've got information report right here. Occurrence 123. Crook. Now we got Crook in on it. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Crook on here. 123-2024 at approximately 10 o'clock, I responded to the schoolhouse, otherwise known as Levy County Courthouse. I responded to School Street in Bronson, otherwise known as the Levy County Courthouse, reference a violation of injunction. Upon my arrival, I was met by caller George. George was parked at the Levy County Courthouse parking lot, which is located across the street. Advised me she has an injunction on John Cook, which she does. So John Cook has already violated this injunction. 3 court hearings already. George says, listen, we're sick and tired of this. Parking, which is located in the street, and advised that she has an injunction on John Cook. She was parked in the road in front of the courthouse. I got to read it the right way. Too much reading upside down. I can't see any straight anymore. George stated that she was at the courthouse today as a witness and she was scheduled for 10 a.m., which she was, and she has been every time. Crook should not be at the courthouse. Crook has nothing to do with LIEnette's court cases. As a matter of fact, she continues to say that Silver Scam doesn't even represent him. He's on his own. He's in jail now. All right, John Crook was then made aware that George was present at this location. He already knew. They've been filming us, yelling at us. They know exactly where we're parking. They see us walking. They're blocking the courthouse. The insanity of Florida, just the insanity. And the inability or unwillingness of the Levy County Sheriff to do anything. It's just out of control. John was instructed to move further down the block at a place I deemed to ensure that the injunction was not violated, which George and I then measured later, and it was still violated. It is to my knowledge that the injunction that George has was issued by the state of Ohio. Outcome, John Cook was unaware that George was being at the location. That's funny because when they're 20 feet away from George at Town Hall, they claim they're unaware as well as they're filming her. John Crook says he's unaware that George was at the location, parked at the location. Once made aware, John Crook moved to ensure the distance of the injunction. And after conducting my investigation in the alleged violation of injunction, I determined there to be no violation. This is insanity. I determined there to be no violation of the injunction at this time, except there continued to be found guilty in Ohio. All right, one more here. John Crook, this is the actual call time on the 23rd. John Crook is there ignoring the 500-foot order. And next, you're going to see that John Crook and LIEnette intentionally, deliberately, willingly, knowingly, they defy the temporary order for over an hour and a half, the permanent civil protection order for over an hour and a half in front of Town Hall. And then when we get in Ohio court, LIEnette's new lawyer, who looked like a complete and total fool just like her, claims there's no proof, except there's all kinds of documents proving it. As a matter of fact, it even states that she filmed it. And we're going to make sure we request all that footage for Crook's hearing. You might have some pretty strong feelings against Shart, who's a known child abuse supporter, but maybe she's turning over a new leaf because she actually sent us this next video clip you're about to see, with the understanding that we don't tell anybody where it came from. It came from Shart. And keep in mind, LIEnette and Crook's pathetic lawyer in Ohio court with the violation claimed that there was no way that LIEnette could even know that Georgia's car was at Town Hall 20 feet from her. And yet LIEnette has no problem identifying her car 1,000 feet from her.
So George is harassing me. She's pulled up real slow and now is gonna go in front of me. I'm about to call the sheriff. Because I want her to leave me alone and I don't know what they're gonna do to me. So since I showed this, now I'm gonna call the sheriff and let the sheriff come and take care of it.